Hey everyone! Today I'm going to share with you 3 things that are must-haves that every home should have to support their children in their education. These 3 things are going to make your life so much easier. One of the biggest obstacles I've had, especially as a first-time homeschooler, but even when my kids were in public school, is the amount of paper that is wasted in our house. We have piles of scrap paper. We have paper that's been doodled on. Paper. We would buy it in the reams. And this year when we started homeschooling, I found that it was just, there was so much of it, I was overwhelmed. So one of the best discoveries that I ever made was the Boogie Board. If you have never seen these before, they are a phenomenal discovery. They come in 2 different sizes. This is the largest size, and then they also have one that's a little bit smaller. The thing that is so great about this is, number 1, you will never need scrap paper again. I can't tell you the last time I have actually had to buy like a reel of paper just for working math problems out. Your child will come with a pen. They can do all their math and their writing right there on the board. And then when they're done, they just simply click and it erases. The nice thing about this board, and I got this on Amazon, I'm sure you could probably get it at other places. The nice thing about this board is it does have a nice little button up here that locks the screen. So if your child's working on a math problem and they're afraid that it would get erased, they simply just lock the screen so that it's there before it gets erased. The other thing is this particular board has a stylus that has an eraser, so it works like a pencil. And so if they're working on, like, say, long division and they make a mistake, they can actually erase one number without having to erase the whole entire page. And that was a huge concept for us. The other thing that this board has that's so great is it has special sheets that go behind it. So as you can see, it's clear. They can actually use this as an art project and lay it on top of pictures and do tracing. But it also comes with just a plain black sheet that you saw. It also has dots. We have laid it over graph paper and been able to see the boxes. It also comes with a sheet that has lines, and so you can use it for writing exercises. So this has been really great for my children. They'll use it in their in-between times, just doodling or playing tic-tac-toe, different games on it. But then when it really comes down to the schoolwork, it's been really handy for just being able to work out all of our problems and take notes, and then being able to erase it and move on. Another must-have that has really been a huge asset in our house are reader guides. And they're these little babies. And when we were moving out of books that were mostly pictures into books that had a lot of words, sometimes it was a little challenging for my children to be able to stay through all of the lines and follow along. Especially with children like mine that have ADHD, sometimes their mind kind of wanders and it's just a lot of words can be overwhelming. So one of the solutions that I discovered were these reader guides. It really helps them just focus line by line. So basically the way they work, they're very simple. You're gonna open your book up and your child, I'm gonna put this up here so you can see it. Your child is simply going to just hold it over one line at a time and read it, and then move down, read. And this just allows them to not be overwhelmed with the amount of words that are on a page and to be able to just read one line at a time and focus. So this is a great tool if you have a child that has any type of learning disability, reading, ADHD, anything like that, or if they're just a new emerging reader. These are really great to have on hand. I got a 12-pack of these at the Dollar Tree, obviously for $1. You can also get them at teacher supply stores and online. And you can also make them with just taping a couple index cards together as well. But I highly suggest some sort of a reader guide, and this will really make your life so much better. The third thing that I want to share with you today that really helped us in our first year of homeschooling, and I believe will continue to help us as we are educating at home, is a fidget basket. Now, what I mean by a fidget basket is, do you find that your children tend to tap a lot of pencils? Do they need to wiggle in their seat a little bit while you're trying to show them? Are they kind of looking around? Anything like that where they're kind of losing attention or feeling like they have a little energy they need to get out, this basket will save your life. Whether you are homeschooling or you're doing virtual public school or just even working with your children outside of school, this basket will really help you. What I found with my children, and of course both of mine have ADHD, so they do have a little bit more need for fidgeting, is that a fidget basket, and we just use a little basket like this in our house, full of items that give them some choices to play with. Now, you can really put anything in there, but I'm going to show you some of the things that my kids really have enjoyed, and this is what we have in ours. So we do little slinkies because this is something that they can stretch and move. And the concept behind it is really, we don't want it to be noisy. We don't want it to be distracting, especially if there's other children that are working, but mostly just giving them something to do with their hands while they're learning. And it's amazing with kids, they can multitask so much better than some of us adults. So don't be surprised if your child actually performs better as they're playing with a toy and learning. Now, sometimes it can be a distraction, but most times it works out pretty well. My son likes Rubik's Cubes, and believe it or not, he will sit and solve different Rubik's Cubes while he's doing different projects, and so that's been really good. These type of like calm down timers, a lot of times it's relaxing for them to be able to just kind of flip it and move it while they're listening to me read or while we're working through some problems, has been really helpful. Not my favorite, but everybody knows the fidget spinner, and my kids love them. I don't know what else to say about them, but they love them. You know, some other things that we use are Tangle toys. So you kind of get the concept of it. It's a great way. It's something that, you know, most of these are pretty quiet, and they're able to kind of work with it while they're doing their schoolwork, and it really makes a big difference. Well, there you have it. My top 3 must-haves for any home education environment. If you try any of these tips out and they work well for you, please leave me a comment and tell me all about it. And of course, if you have something you're doing that works really well with your children, I would love to hear about it so that I can try it with mine. So please leave me a comment and tell me all about what you're doing. And as always, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join me in my unconventional parenting journey. I'll have weekly videos where I'll be sharing with you tips and tricks that I have learned along the way.